Not gonna lie, this is a little bit of a tempting offer. 300 gems for 200 orbs of any eternal dragon. Like, that could be actually quite good, but it's still RNG at the end of the day, so I'm probably going to ignore it. But anyway, we are here for a different reason, because we have new collection stuff, and more importantly, we have the new heroic combat quests. And by that I mean it's the same as usual, so we will go through how you can finish off these heroic combat quests and get your hands on high seismic orbs from this event, which will also help you with the heroic quest here. We have a new tower event, but of course, to be able to take part in these heroic combat quests, which I'm going to have to skip one of these eggs as well, we are going to have to first claim our rewards from the heroic race. So if you want to know where you claim them, if you go into your events panel on the right hand side, you'll see this button that says results. If you've got the new UI for Dragon City, then it'll look slightly different and you'll just have to restart your game. And then once we open this, it'll say, your race is finished, you've unlocked the prizes, good job, because we did get to 15. So we came first, we got to 15, and that means that we get our hands on high seismic, we get our hands on the Elder Seaquake dragon, and we also get our hands on green meadows, which are the main dragons, and then of course exotic as well. So we've got all of those dragons from the heroic race. Heroic race is now over, but if you want to finish off the heroic combat quests, you need to start doing them immediately, as soon as the heroic race is finished, because they have set timers on them. And so we are going to do that immediately. So I am going to skip one of these eggs here, which we've got Lake Guardian. It's 4 gems, whatever, it's fine. I don't care too much. It's not too expensive. Hopefully we have enough actual dragon slots, because I am running out of habitat spaces like crazy these days. I need a new island, really. But that is Lake Guardian there. But what we actually need is we need to get those dragons hatched. So just to make sure that you hatch the right dragons from these quests, you can always go into the quest, go to battle. We've already got green meadows, so we don't have to hatch them. But Elder Seaquake and high seismic are the 2 that we need. So we're going to go into our storage, get out your boy Seismic, and then we are going to immediately hatch him using gems. And you will have to immediately hatch them using gems. You will not have time to hatch them normally. So we're going to speed him up. And my goodness, is he a cute baby. Oh, he is so cute as a baby. I love him. I don't know, some people are like, ew, he has a weird design, but like baby high seismic is wonderful. And adult high seismic is actually pretty cool as well. Look at him throwing that big orb up in the air. Look at him. Wow, what a strong boy. But in order to finish off the heroic combat quests, mainly heroic combat quest 2, you will have to take high seismic beyond level 40, which means he will have to be empowered at least once. And so I'm going to take him straight to level 40 here, and then now he is available for us to use in the heroic combat quest. The other dragon, like I said, is the other dragon that we got from the event, which is Elder Seaquake, which I don't think I've got the dragon existing, which we don't, so we're just gonna go and hatch his beautiful egg, which is a weird looking dragon. But let's get your boy Seaquake, and then again I am going to hatch him immediately, and then we are going to take him straight to level 40 also. But new dragons, which I'm always a fan of, and of course the more level 40 dragons that we have, they can be useful for rescues as well. So then we're going to take this guy up. We can always level up the meadow dragon as we go along, so I'm not going to worry about that immediately. But we're going to take him up, blah, 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 blah. There we go, he's level 40 now. And now we can take part in the heroic combat quest, because now you'll see that there isn't anything limiting us from doing these quests. So we're going to do both of these quests straight away now, since we've got the dragons available. And these should be a good time for you to get free rank up points on the heroic dragon, because if you rank up the heroic dragon, I mean, he's a heroic, so he's going to be good anyway, right? But the other thing about ranking up the heroic is if you're trying to do the other heroic quests that we have right now, getting as many orbs for him as possible is also going to help you with those quests and getting him empowered. So I do highly suggest getting all the ranks on the heroic if you are planning on doing his quests. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to start getting the ranks on him. Of course, if you've got Facebook friends added, you can also get ranks off of them, but normally I just do it the normal way because I don't really add people on Facebook with this account. So there we go, he's done his battles, and then we get a rank up off of him. Lovely. And now the next battle, we're going to have to level up that meadow dragon, which fine, I'll do that in a second. But But you'll see that once we've done the first battle, we have a 6-hour timer, and every single battle in these heroic combat quests is going to have a 6-hour timer. So unfortunately, if you enjoy sleeping for a lot longer than 6 hours, well, you can't really do that depending on when the reset timer is. So in 6 hours, we will then log in again, do stage 2, and then we log in 6 hours, every 6 hours, every 6 hours, until we finish off stage 11. Usually with these heroic combat quests myself, I'm not going to be logging in on the dot every single time, but I usually finish on the Monday morning before the end of the heroic combat quest. So I normally have like 6 hours to 8 hours left, usually around about that amount of time, maybe a little bit less. So you do have leeway with these heroic combat quests, but not an awful lot. So you should be trying to log in on the dot every 6 hours if you can, but if you miss like 20 minutes or an hour, it shouldn't be too bad and you should still be able to do them. But you've only got 3 days, and of course you have to finish up to stage 11, so you don't have a lot of spare time to mess with. But keep all of that in mind when you are doing the heroic combat quests. And if you want to know how many orbs you can actually get, well, if you finish all of these stages in Heroic Combat 1, it is 120 orbs, and then in the other one, it is 200 orbs. So that's 200 plus 120, and then we also have the Heroic Combat, or the Heroic Quests here, where depending on the empowerment you get them to, you can get 5 gems here, 20 gems there. If you get to level 56 with High Seismic, then you can I believe you can get up to the 140 orbs plus the 80 gems here. Like, you'll get the 80 gems at the very least, so you can get a lot of gems back for it as well, so that is pretty neat. But all of this is posted for the exact requirements of finishing off these heroic combat quests inside the DC event guide section of my Discord server. So it explains what you'll need for quest 1, and it explains what you'll need for quest 2. So for instance, if you don't have enough food to finish off Heroic Combat Quest 2, because you are going to need a level 45 Heroic and the others are going to need to be level 40, so that's like 28 million food, 93 gems if you want to do both of the quests, because you're going to have to skip the empowerment as well. If you can't do that because you don't have the food or the gems resources, then you can at least finish off Heroic Combat 1, where they'll need to be level 30, and that's like 1.7 million food cost, and that is it. So even if you can't finish off Heroic Combat Quest 2, because, you know, there are quite a few resources that go into finishing off Heroic Combat Quest 2, at the very least, you should still be able to finish off Heroic Combat Quest 1, and at least get yourself one set of empowerment for the Heroic Dragon. So, again, the guide for that, as it's posted every single time, is available inside the Discord server's DC event guide section. And of course, normally I post everything up just in general as we're talking about them as well with the stats, but it is there if you want to find it and just save it or just keep looking at it. It is indeed there. So, I hope that all of that makes sense for these heroic combat quests. I do highly recommend doing them if you are someone that is looking to empower High Seismic, and even if you're not, if you get free orbs for High Seismic, you can use those orbs as trading fodder, and trading fodder can be really, really useful if you want to go for a different heroic, like say you want to empower, I don't know, High Cinco or High Nest from a previous event. Then you could get orbs for High Seismic and trade them with someone that wants orbs for the other dragon. So don't just, you know, give up on orbs for no reason. I don't see any reason to not at least get the 120 orbs for him from the first heroic combat. Second heroic combat, you do have to be somewhat prepared for that. But I do always do the heroic combat quest. We'll see whether I screw up this time. I think the only one where I really screwed up on the timers was with High Drowsy, which is quite funny since High Drowsy is like one of the better heroics out there, or considered to be. But anyway, that is most of the heroic combat stuff. So that is heroic race done. High Seismic is ours. We'll keep ranking him up. The other things that we have going on right now, you've just seen that I've done the quest for it, is the tower event. And now we do also have tower coins available in Dragon TV, so you should be watching your ads and getting all of the rewards from that, getting the chests from that as well. We do have new collections, however, and we have the new tower event itself, which has DUO-DISARM inside it. So, as a tower event, this is pretty much the exact same as usual, and with tower events, you either need to decide whether you are going to go to the top of the tower to get the new dragon, or whether you're going to focus on getting the event items, because you'll see that we have these new things called Lord's Chests, and inside these we have War Ballots, Legend Ballots, and there are a few of these chests as you'll keep going up the tower event. There'll probably be some more insignias as we go up, but you don't really have a lot of currency to work with because of how random the tower events are in terms of your drops. So you either need to choose those Lord's Chests, or you need to choose to get to the top of the tower and focus on that to get your hands on DUO-DISARM. And I have to be honest, DUO-DISARM is a wonderful looking dragon. Is he good? No, not really, because Double War is very meh, and it takes away a possible element from him. But he is a very cool looking dragon. Like, out of all the dragons in this game, he's a very nice looking one, and even his follower's pretty cool. So, you know, it's going to be a tough decision with such a lovely looking boy there. But to get him, you need to make your way to the top of the tower, which means that rather than focusing on the event chests, you would just aim for these blue catapults every time. So you'd spin the wheel, and then you'd hope for a ×3, and you'd just aim for the blue catapults and make your way up and up and up, going for the blue catapults until you make it to the star at the top. And that is what you do to get DUO-DISARM. But is going for DUO-DISARM actually a good choice? Well, that is going to depend on what your opinion is on the House of Lords collection. And now the game does go through this, October 2nd to the 16th, as houses continue to clash in the kingdom, the House of Lords and their Shadow Council must step in to clean up this mess. If they can stay clear of some Fey trickery, that is. And so we've got all the dragons here. It shows you we're going to have a maze event that's got more of those discharge items. We have a puzzle event, the tower event ongoing right now, and we're going to have a runner event. But the order is going to be tower, maze, puzzle, runner, with the event items in it. And so you collect the items from the various events, and then you use them as part of this collection. So the first part of this collection, which you can get 10 of, has perks in it, breeding perks, which is wonderful. It's also got trade essence. The second one we've got has legendary Joker orbs again. Wonderful. I am very happy to see this. But in order to get this, you're going to need 7 of the legendary ballots and just 1 of the war ballots. So you can get Joker orbs and random tokens from this, which could be very, very nice for stacking up your Joker orbs. So very tempting. We have this one where you'll need 12 of the legendary ballots, which inside this you can get 50 orbs of either DUO-DISARM or for the legendary DUO-DEMAND, who has a little birdie follower, which is also wonderful. But you can get some orbs for them from that chest, and you can get up to 4 of those. We have this one, which has damage and health perks, which is whatever. And then we have this collection here, where if you manage to get your hands on DUO-DISARM, you get your hands on Unfaithful, and you get your hands on DUO-DEMAND, you can get yourself 100 Jokers and a Phoenix perk. So basically, they're just saying if you actually play the events and get the dragons from the events, you can get your hands on a free Phoenix perk and 100 Jokers. Which, of course, if we compare that to this one, it's 25 each, so you'd need to get 4 of these to make up for just finishing off this part of the collection. So, you're going to have to choose, because you can get up to 7 of these if you collect more event items, but even not collecting the event items, you can still get your hands on at least 100 Jokers, and you get the dragons, of course. So, Then, of course, the final collection piece that we have here, which usually this final collection chest isn't possible free to play, or you'd have to get really lucky with event items. You can get your hands on up to 640 orbs of Unfaithful and the other dragons. But again, usually this one is not obtainable. I haven't done all the maths for this one, but usually these ones are the ones that you can't get. So I would say this Govern the House of Lords is very doable. And again, there are 100 Jokers available and you get the dragons themselves, which is very, very tempting for a collector like myself. But of course, if you manage to get the event items, you could also get your hands on some legendary trade essence. I myself, purely because I am very much a dragon collector, I am probably going to go for the dragons themselves to finish off this collection, if I'm being honest. But at the same time, if we can pick up some event items on the way through and get some more legendary Jokers from this collection, that would be fantastic, of course. But it is your choice at the end of the day what you want to focus on and what you want to go for. There is no right or wrong whether you want to go for the dragons themselves or purely the event items. It's just, I don't know, I love the look of DUO-DISARM, and usually with tower events I go straight to the top, but you know, it's you're gonna get some good stuff either way. So there is that. Of course, we've got the new Dragon TV ongoing, and in this we do have 3 Karmas. We've got Sinful in there as well, but like you could get your hands on Revival Karma, Kung Flow, Mama, Healing Karma, so you could get a Karma out of the upcoming Dragon TV chest. It's unlikely, but it could happen. And apart from that, we are still continuing on with the Plasma collection, continuing on with the War Rose collection, which should be done in not very long. And that is most of the new stuff. The only other thing I haven't really talked about is the new Ascended path, which is the new Wizard's Hollow, which has Ascended Oracle in here. And of course, Ascended Oracle has Divine Sacrifice as her skill. But inside this Wizard's Hollow, we do have more of those voodoo chests, which could be nice. They may not be nice. They are usually not very nice. But this is the voodoo chest where you could get high voodoo, some of the corrupted dragons, which would be insane to get one of those drops. Or, on average, you're probably going to end up with, like, barely any food and barely any gems. So, bear that in mind. But, of course, it's Wizard's Hollow, so there's nothing you can really do to change the outcome apart from just spend more gems and just pray to RNGesus. But if you run into a wizard, that's pretty much it. You can't really do much else. So there are quite a lot of new things happening today. It's just at the moment we've mainly just got Tower event ongoing, so it's going to be a little bit chill until that Maze event comes out. And then of course we are going to have, really? A wizard already? I guess we will skip this one just to skip the 5 gems cost. So there we go. The ad has been watched, which means that now we don't have to pay for this revive. Ooh, is that ancient orbs? That's not bad. I like to pick up random ancient dragon orbs whenever I can. We could quit out here, but let's just keep going for now, see how far we can get. The only bad side, I guess, in a sense, with the wizard revival is that it's not like you revive and then the next revival cost 5. It's still gonna cost you as if you'd like failed the first time, paid the gems, and then you die again and then you have to pay the 10. So it's not like you're just getting it for free. Like, we run into him here and we're still gonna have to pay 10 gems this time. And the question is, do I really want to spend 10 gems on this hollow? You know what? Just in case we get lucky, I'm gonna skip the 10 gems here and we'll just see how far we can get, unless we get some insane drop. Of course, getting the ancient drop pieces as well is a little bit tempting, but probably gonna die soon anyway to a wizard. But you know, sometimes I do like to give the Wizard's Hollow at least 1 or 2 chances, just to see if we do get lucky and we do like 20 rooms in a row. But no, it looks like that is not going to be the case here. These rewards just aren't good enough. I'm going to quit. But I do wish you the best of luck with going through that Wizard's Hollow yourself, especially if you want to get your hands on that new dragon, if you don't already have her. So I guess for now, main thing is just to focus on this tower event, and of course going for the event items if you want them. But it should be a bit chill for now, where we've only got 1 event on. Then Maze is pretty chill as well, but of course we will go through the Maze event as well and what the best drops are going to be for that. But make sure you're watching your ads, getting all the tower currency, because with tower, I would create some sort of guide for the tower event. The only problem is, because the randomness, because of just how random the whole event is, there's not really a good way to, you know, really predict how many turns it's going to take you. We could go with the average drops of 2, but it's going to be completely different for everyone. And now, there are going to be insignias as well, but I will pre-warn you that depending on what your drops are like as you're going through this event, so like there is an event chest here, and if we get ×1 drop, we can get some event items. But if you get too distracted with going for either insignias or event items in these events, you may end up just not getting the tower dragon anyway. So like I said before, make sure you focus on going to the top of the tower if that is your main focus, because otherwise you will trying to go for everything, you'll just end up screwing yourself over. I've seen it so many times, it happens so often, and if you get screwed over with your drops on the later levels, well, there's just not really a lot that you can do about it. So always be heading for your up catapults if you're going to be going for that new dragon. I'm just going to do one more roll here and see how we go. But tower events are very chill, apart from just, you know, relying on RNG just to get us where we want to go. So good luck with your rolls on the tower event as well. Of course, if you want to go for the event items, good luck with reaching those without having to waste too much currency. And make sure you're getting your Alliance chest, because we do have the new Alliance chest dragons in there now. So we're going to keep our breeding coming up, and hopefully we should be able to get those new dragons. I also got your boy Bling, so I'm in a good mood. I'm in a very good mood. But I'm going to be trying to focus on these Seismic quests, so if you've got any Seismic orbs and you want any other heroics, hit me up. And I guess we'll finish off by doing a Spore Plasma fight here. I am a little bit behind with these, but if we buy at least 5 of the items, we should still be able to get Spore Plasma via summoning anyway. And Spore Plasma is not exactly an amazing dragon, so she's just being obtained to obtain her, basically. But lots of stuff, so I hope that makes sense and explains what's going on, especially for any new players. So I hope you don't get too overwhelmed with all this stuff, but just make sure you're getting those heroic combat quests done, because they are very, very important to getting lots of free orbs for dragons. And of course, these heroic quests, they're every hour, so if you keep logging in, you should be able to do quite a lot of them. But this guy is going to need to be empowered quite a lot if you want to get to the end. And by that I mean max empowered if you want to get every single reward, which probably won't happen, but depends on just how dedicated you are with trading and how many trade essences, heroic trade essences, you actually have. But anywho, skis, thank you for joining me here today, and until next time, have fun.